Hi everyone, my name is Ellie Wade and I'm the author of The Adventures of a Recovering Sex Addict, the trilogy. We have Married Men and F-Boys, Volume 1, Friends with Benefits, but Mostly Liabilities, Volume 2, and the third one, the juicy one, Optical Delusions, comes out soon. I thought I would just share a little piece of Chapter 1 of Married Men and F-Boys for you. It's called Miami Vice, and it starts like this. I was no longer going to beg my husband to love me. I became so blinded by my own thirst, by my own loneliness, that I didn't care where the attention was coming from. I had tunnel vision. I felt slighted by my husband, so I became selfish. I didn't give the consequences of my premeditated affair a second thought. I picked up my cell phone, searched for the WhatsApp icon, and called Dante on video. My eyes were filled with tears from the hurt. I could see how helpless Dante felt. We sat silently on the phone while he watched me morph through my emotions. I felt like I didn't matter. This was part of the shame that I grew up with and that had infiltrated almost every relationship I've ever had, whether platonic or intimate. I believed other people were better than me, and therefore I searched for external validation to co-sign me because I didn't know how to do it for myself. You want to know more? Go to thisiselliewade.com and buy your coffee. Okay, here's another piece. This is part of Chapter 3 in Married Men and F-Boys. It's called The A Effect, Part 1. And I'm jumping in where Callie Church has decided to go to Atlanta to reconnect, platonically at first, with an old boyfriend. So she goes to see Sarah Jakes Roberts, and this is where we're going to start on page 40. The praise and worship were electrifying, but the devil had other plans for me. A quick glance at my phone as church was ending revealed a text message from Aziz reading, "Drinks?" Question mark, question mark, question mark, with an address and a wink emoji. I ignored my Holy Ghost instincts that told me that I should get my ass back to the hotel. I waved bye to Belle as she dropped me off at the restaurant where I was meeting Aziz. How would he look? Would I recognize him? Would he still be attracted to me? Some in-the-moment self-talk to remind myself that he was married disintegrated when he stood at the bar, turned towards me, and smiled. Time stood still as I cut through the space. Even in my heels, I had to do an extra stretch to kiss his cheek and give a coy, "Hey." His skin was soft, freshly shaven. His cologne was subtle and so arousing. He was dressed in a Hugo Boss suit. This brother may have been light-skinned, but he definitely had dark-skinned vibes. What does that even mean? I chuckled at my own inner dialogue. He had big hands, and as I daydreamed about the things those hands used to do to me, the light at the bar hit his wedding ring and broke the trance I was falling into. Dun dun dun. Thisiselliewade.com. Check it out. So the inspiration behind The Adventures of a Recovering Sex Addict came from a part of my own journey, but also from a lot of the women that are in my life that have at one time or another definitely dated men that didn't respect them, didn't see them. And I've heard so many stories of us as women running after people that don't want us and trying to validate our existence based on what they want and never what we want. We ignore our inner dialogue, we ignore the inner child, and we go chasing after men in places that we have no place chasing after them. And then we lose ourselves. And so for myself, I was married for 16 years, and when that marriage came to an end, I was terrified. I wanted to find someone to replace my husband right away. I mean, you're with someone for so long, it's not comfortable to be alone yet. And luckily I went through a 7-year period of dating and going back and forth between, do I need somebody, do I not want someone? And I found myself, again, and I was able to be alone and achieve so much more when I realized who I was and what God created me to be. But there is that period of time where I was lost. I fell into many thirst traps and different married men and F-boys, and I had a lot of friends with benefits, but almost all of them had many liabilities, hence my second book. And I think that I used it as a way of processing my grief, a way of processing my pain from my past, my upbringing. I come from childhood sexual abuse. I didn't think very much of myself, and I found that reflection in all of the men and the friendships that I interacted with. I reinforced it with the people that I came in contact with. And so until I was willing to take certain stance, and writing this book was a big part of it, where I begged God on my knees to please show me what it is that I've been missing. And what he showed me is that I needed to be accountable to my own behavior. And so this book is not about throwing men under the bus. This is about women looking at themselves in the mirror and being honest with themselves about the choices we make, why we make them, and how we end up in places where we don't belong. Yeah, I think the inspiration that I'm looking for from The Adventures of a Recovering Sex Addict and the trilogy is that women take a closer look at who they are and find themselves again. We often ignore our inner voice, and we do so because we are longing for something that already belongs there, but we don't recognize it. It's as if we have amnesia and we don't know who we are. So I wrote these books, and as people read them, both men and women, they see aspects of themselves in the ways that they have abandoned parts of themselves to fit in the hopes of belonging, in the hopes of finding love. And I want them to know that the love that they need is in themselves, and that everything that they do when they don't abandon themselves actually gets attracted to them, and they will get everything that God promised them if they just wait.